This episode of Wonderful Life is part 2 of our 2-part series on could singleness be the thing that's actually bringing you what you really want in your life? So stay tuned to Wonderful Life. Hi, I'm Mary Dittman. I'm an award-winning business professor on the collegiate level and the creator of College on Fleek and One-Derful Life. Wonderful Life is my way of describing how it feels when you've made peace with being single. And I know that some women are fine with being single. They prefer it, they enjoy it. I'm not one of them. I've always wanted to be married and have a family, but I'm well over 40 and that hasn't happened for me. And that's always been really sad for me because part of my definition of a fulfilled life includes being a wife and a mother. But I got to the point where I said, well, the singleness doesn't seem to be changing and it may not change. And I just want to be happy. And that's what Wonderful Life is about. It's about creating a life where you're truly happy and content and peaceful, because that's the kind of vibe that's going to attract your Mr. Right. But even if he never shows up, you're happy anyway. Now, if you haven't seen the first episode, go back and watch part 1 because it'll really help you understand where I'm going here. So the basic premise is that I formulated this idea, okay, I want to feel whole and complete, but I hate being single. And how am I going to be happy being single when I don't want to be single? It's as if we would say, well, I'm lonely, but being alone is what's actually going to cure me of my loneliness. Like, it doesn't even make sense. So like, I'm unhappy being single, but being single is what's going to cure me of my unhappiness with my singleness. And that just sounded like it was kind of twisting my brain, but I knew I was onto something here. And there's a great book I'd like to recommend. It's called The Obstacle is the Way. It was written by Ryan Holiday. And Ryan Holiday is a student of Stoicism, which is the Roman philosophy. Marcus Aurelius is really one of the most cited Stoic philosophers. One of Marcus Aurelius's quotes was, the impediment to action is what will create action. So, okay, so let's look at an example. Let's say you don't have any money coming in and you don't have a job. You need a job, but you can't find a job. So you need money, but you can't find a job, so you got to get creative. So, you scrape together whatever little bit of money you have and you bake some of your grandmother's like award-winning chocolate cupcakes, and then you sell them. Now, the cupcakes are such a hit. You take the money that you made from the cupcakes and you buy more ingredients and you sell more cupcakes. And in fact, the more you sell, then the word starts really getting out about these delicious cupcakes. And before you know it, you've got enough cupcake sales that you actually need to go get some space. You open up a bakery, you hire a staff, and now you're employing not only yourself, so you have a job, but now you're providing jobs to other people. So now this obstacle of, I don't have a job, nobody will hire me, that actually made you get creative. And so that obstacle of, I don't have a job, no one will hire me, put you in the position where you have a job, no one had to hire you, and now because you're a business owner, nobody can fire you. In fact, the only way you could really lose your income would be if all of your customers quit buying from you on the exact same day. So I've said that what I really wanted was to feel whole and complete. So if I use the Stoic philosophy, which is, I want to get rid of the singleness because in my singleness, I feel like something's missing in my life. If I'm single, then I, by definition, don't have the thing I want, which is marriage and family. But according to Stoicism, they would say, well, the singleness is actually going to be the path to you feeling whole and complete. And I was always like, well, yeah, no kidding. So I'm dating, and singleness will lead me to wholeness and completeness because it'll lead me to not being single anymore. But because I don't have the husband and the children that I've always wanted, I really had to look at what would make me truly enjoy my life. Like, that might be off the table. And listen, I prayed so many times, God, please just take the desire away from me. And guess what? It doesn't work that way. And so, here I am. I'm with this desire of I want to be married and I want to have a family, but it's not happening. How am I going to enjoy my life? So one thing I did was I made a list of all the things in my life that make me happy. For me it was things like writing and speaking and teaching and creating content and helping people and being organized. I'm all about that organized life. And learning new things and studying and developing my yoga practice and my meditation practice. And when I looked at my list, nothing on the list dealt with any other person other than me. And then the second question I asked was, okay, so what would make me happy moving forward in my life? And of course, my default answer was always, well, a husband and a family. But, I don't have that. So I had to ask myself, okay, well, if that's not happening, so moving forward, what's it going to take for me to be happy? And then I actually had to really start actively changing how I thought about my singleness. So instead of seeing it as like, well, I'm just stuck, I'm just kind of like, this is something that happened to me that I didn't want, and I'm just, just random bad luck. I started to see it as, okay, what if this is the way I'm going to be the person that I want to be? And the kind of woman that I want to be is a woman who has true confidence, a woman who has true self-respect, and who feels content and peaceful, and who can help other people with that too. I want to be secure, and I don't want to be intimidated by life or intimidated by other people or, intimidated by my cellulite. And I don't want to be afraid, and I don't want to be someone who tolerates disrespect and turns into a doormat. And I want to be the type of woman that I expect the best from myself, I expect it from other people, and frankly, I trust the universe to bring me the best. And yeah, what if I had gotten married and then, maybe I developed some of those characteristics because I would have what I wanted, which is, okay, I'm a wife and a mother, and so now I have, all the things going on in my life that I've always wanted, and that's great. But then what would have happened if my husband had left me or if he had died? Then whatever confidence or happiness that I would have had would have just collapsed. It wouldn't have been real. Because when somebody else gives you that view of yourself, they can take it away. And instead, what I have is that confidence and self-reliance and self-respect that I always wanted. That feeling of, okay, my life is complete, I'm a whole person, everything is good, and I always wanted that. Now, I still would prefer to have a husband and have a family. I want that. But I'm really in the place today where if it doesn't happen, it's okay. I don't see my life as it's missing something, or I'm lacking something, or this is something in my life I need to fix. And for me, that was pretty major. And that's why I got to the point where I was able to feel peaceful and content in my singleness. It's not because I got to the place where I prefer singleness. No. It's because I got to the place where I said, I prefer to be a high-value woman with a strong character. And if this is how I'm going to develop that, then bless God, I'm going to develop it. So I don't know about you, but for me, that was a major, major life-changing revelation. Like I said, I've never really shared that with anybody, and I was ready to share it with you, and I hope it helps. Now, you can always connect with us at wonderfullife.com. We post a new blog there every Friday. You might want to join our newsletter list or check out our podcast. We have lots of cute Wonderful Life merchandise for you to see. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time right here on Wonderful Life.